Trisha Miltimore is a passion igniter. With over 12 years of experience, Trisha inspires women and youth to connect with our authentic selves and to step outside of the box towards total self-awareness. From empowering keynote addresses to intimate and interactive workshops, Trisha offers strategies to reach your goals and to flourish at the same time. So this Mama 3 delivers high energy enthusiasm that is so very, very contagious. So please welcome Trisha Miltimore.
Thank you for that wonderful bio. I think I wrote that myself, but thank you. I appreciate it. So excited to be here and for everyone in the audience. I'm going to pretend like this entire room is my audience, and even if you're at your booths, perhaps you'll be listening to the strategies I get to present for you today. Can everyone on this side see the screen? I'll be using it actually quite a bit, so just as long as you can see it. So I just have a question for you, a little housekeeping before we get going on the strategies of how to see some clarity past the chaos, to truly flourish while you reach your goals. I just found out that there is actually, just outside the front doors, a minivan parked with its far back interior light on. This minivan has hundreds of Cheerios on the floor. Some are squished, some are not. The windows look tinted, but it just might be hand grime. I'm not sure. And there's a mysterious rotting smell that seems to have no source. The vehicle is also 1,000 kilometers overdue for an oil change. So if this is your minivan, you might want to go turn off that light. Or you could live on the edge, leave it on. Hey mamas, that's kind of exciting. How many of you actually own a minivan? Let's hear it high, not proud. Yeah, okay. How many of you who own a minivan at one time said to someone, I will never own a minivan? Yeah, okay. Okay, so of you who at one time said, I will never own a minivan, but currently do own a minivan, how many of you have said to someone recently or in the past, I love my minivan? It's so true, I'm definitely part of that club. I'm so part of that club. One time I was going into a Timmy's drive-thru, and it was a long, winding one. I was in my minivan, and I noticed this guy in the sedan, kind of, maybe checking me out. I don't know, he's kind of staring. I didn't want to look too hard to find out. But then I did glance over, and he's really looking at me, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay. And I realized I was going in the wrong way. So I was going in, it was a one-way, and I was driving the wrong way into the... Anyways, I had to back up. That wasn't pretty. It was very embarrassing. Our perspectives change so much when we become moms, including the whole minivan perspective, right? And there's so many examples of how they change. I remember before I had kids, and I have 3 girls at home, before I had kids, I was the perfect parent. Anyone else like that? Before you had kids, you had all the answers, right? And I know this to be true because I was going out for dinner before I had kids with my friends who they were the only friends to have children at the time. They had one little girl named Olivia. She was 18 months old. I was going out for dinner with them, getting all ready. It took me an hour to get ready. I had my dangly earrings on, the heels, jeans and a belt. I don't know what it is about jeans and a belt, but I haven't quite gotten back into the jeans and the belt thing since I had kids, and thongs. Jeans, belts, thongs, like underwear. Yeah, it doesn't work for me yet. I'm working on that. So we go out for dinner, and there's Olivia, 18 months old. They're already at the restaurant, and she's eating French fries. I was like, why did they already order for her? I couldn't understand that. And why are they feeding their little girl French fries? Like deep fried, trans fat, salty foods? And I thought to myself, or actually I declared to myself, when I have kids, they're not gonna be eating fried foods. No, they're gonna be eating steamed vegetables, casseroles, anything I put in front of them, they're gonna graciously accept and eat with like whatever superfood I have. And then about, 45 minutes into the dinner, little Olivia starts making all kinds of noise. And she's whining, and she's crying, and I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with this kid? We've only been here for an hour. And I thought and I declared in my own mind that when I have kids, they're going to respect my right, for me to enjoy a dinner uninterrupted. That's right, that's what my kids are going to do. Now when we go out for dinner, if we go out for dinner, and I'm sure many of you mamas, dads can relate, if we go out for dinner, it's to somewhere like White Spot. where they have food in cardboard boats, which is genius marketing, right? And we get there, we sit down, and I almost feel really bad for the waitress, who's probably 15 years old or so. And she's all bubbly, and she says, "Hi, can I get you anything?" And this is pretty much my response every single time. "Yes, thank you. Can I get chocolate milks for all the kids, please?" And no, don't go anywhere. We're gonna order our dinner right now because we've been here for 30 seconds and we are already losing them. So if you wouldn't mind, we'll get the boats for them with chicken strips and fries. I'm gonna get a salad with the dressing on the side, of course. My husband, yes you are, he's gonna get the white spot burger with the fries and gravy, because once I'm done my salad, I'm probably gonna chow down on his. And can you put a rush on that? Because we gotta get going here. Please, go, go, go! You know, like get the dinner to us because we're gonna lose the kids. That's my going out for dinner experience. And now when I see kids in the mall having a temper tantrum on the ground screaming, "I want that toy!" I'm actually thinking, thank God it's not my kid right now. I feel bad for that parent, right? So our perspectives, as you all know, change so much when we have kids, whether it's a minivan perspective or how we think we are as parents. And we have so many different roles and expectations that are placed on us. The expectations from others, the expectations, and this is the biggest one, that we place on ourselves as well. And these expectations over time, correct me if I'm wrong, but on some weary days, they build, 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 and they can really wear our spirit down. Sometimes there's not enough hours in the day to get everything we need to get done. And it can be overwhelming at times, and it can get in the way of us living our, what I like to call, authentic life. And to live an authentic life really means that you are the author of your own story. You are navigating your own ship. But that can be tough when you got so many things going on. There's something else that gets in the way of us living our authentic life. I like to call it busy-itis. I think it's an infection that we have in our culture. I mean, think about it. Being busy is highly esteemed. You meet someone on the street who you haven't seen for a while, and what do you say? "Oh, how's it going?" "Oh, it's going good." "Oh, busy, but good." "Oh, awesome, busy." "Yeah, busy, good, busy." Woo! It's like up there on a pedestal. If you're busy, you're successful, and that's the benchmark. And you can talk to any kids or teachers. I do these presentations for educators as well as parents, and I hear the feedback all the time. And as moms and parents, you probably agree that kids now, they got busy-itis as well. And we're so busy kind of doing for our kids that even doing for ourselves, we stop just being with our kids or being with ourselves. And busy-itis has a big impact on our ability to enjoy an authentic life. And it can be absolutely overwhelming, all these expectations. But let's toot our own horn for a sec. As working mamas, let's toot our horn. What's great about what we do? We're what? And there's some audience interaction. Give me something here. We're what? We endure, right? We're capable. We can get up all night and in the morning proceed as if it didn't happen, for the most part, except for when we snap every now and then, right? We are resilient. We do a lot in our day. We're also incredibly tired and, wow, exhausted. And like I mentioned, on some weary days, the expectations from others and ourselves can really weigh our spirit down. It can be absolutely overwhelming. And I don't know about you, but there are some days when I go to bed and I'm tired for myself. Or there are some times when I have to go to my room and close the door and I cry. Because I am just that overwhelmed with what it is that I want for myself, what it is I want for my family, and my priorities, and what it means to be a fully expressive individual beyond just being a mother and a working person. I think about the women of our past days. The Good Wife, 19 rules for keeping a happy husband. It's like a rub his feet. I'm like, never mind, you rub my feet, right? I love that we have a token male in the audience today. Thank you for coming. 19 Rules for Keeping a Happy Husband is a great book. You should really read it. Maybe you can get your wife and buy it for an anniversary gift. That's always a good idea. And you begin to wonder, at least I have, perhaps the women of that generation were actually feeling more fulfilled because the goals that they had for themselves were perhaps more achievable. At the end of the day, they thought, you know, I got my husband's feet rubbed. That's what I had in mind. I'm just saying, I don't know if it is or isn't. We can't go back in time. But with all the expectations we have, not feeling like we're flourishing because we can't always meet the expectations we have for ourselves. But then again, my ability, my privilege to pursue my own passions and purpose, I wouldn't give that up either. Here we are with so many expectations and labels for ourselves. Anyone here a hockey mom or soccer mom? No one? Sports, driving around a lot in the minivan if you have one. Yeah, if you went down that route. We're coaches, we're moms, we're partners, we're friends. So many labels that keep us pretty darn busy with our busy-itis. But the problem is, with all these expectations, many times we are living in a state of frustration. We just feel frustrated. So how do we go from the frustrating to the flourishing? And flourishing is a word that I love because it means to grow, to expand in all the good ways, and to live a life where you are connected to your authenticity. And that's what I want to speak to you about today. Some strategies to go from the frustrating to the flourishing. In fact, I have 4 of them for you today. I have 10 in total. I only got a half an hour on the stage. So 4 strategies for truly flourishing and creating what you want. And notice I didn't say getting what you want. It's not about reaching out and getting like this. It's about creating and manifesting from your own passions and purpose. Your passion and your purpose is your personal power. Before we get into the strategies, just a couple quick rules. I don't like rules, but there's just 2 that you'll need because these strategies are all about tweaks and transformations in your mindset. You will have to do no changes to your outside world. None at all. And in fact, you can implement these strategies the second you learn them. It's tweaks to your mindset that allows for the transformation to take place. And I want you to keep in mind these 2 rules. The first one is that for the next 20 minutes on this stage, this is a guilt-free zone. We're really good at the guilt. We beat ourselves up all the time about our physical appearances, how we're mothering, and are we doing the work-life balance correctly? What are we doing right for our kids? What about myself? And I just feel stifled. This is a guilt-free zone because living in the would-haves, could-haves, and the should-haves is a very disempowering place to come from. And if you are feeling the emotion of regret, I offer you 2 questions to ask yourself. The first one is this: what could I have done different? What could I have done different? And the second, what have I learned? And beyond asking those 2 questions, you simply have to let it go, or it will burden you down. So take all the guilt that you have in your mind, and everyone's guilt is slightly different, package it up the best you can in a little pretty box, and then stuff it into the back shelf of your brain for the next 20 minutes the best you can. Guilt-free zone. The second rule is to tell the truth. The truth to yourself. I mean, we're all living a life where we're looking for evidence to support our positions. And I'm pretty good at digging my heels into certain positions. I think we all are. Your truth, you know it's your truth when you don't need to use logic to convince you otherwise. If you feel something, you're thinking something, and you're using your logic to convince you of what you think you should do, that's probably the red flag that you're disconnected with what your truth is. That's a great way to look at it. Tell the truth to yourself. Your heart source, your intuition, your wisdom, the higher power. It will never steer you wrong if you have the chance or allow for the opportunity to connect with that. And these strategies require you to tell the truth. So here we go, 4 strategies for flourishing and creating what you want in your life, both personally and professionally. These cross both the lines. The first one is to disempower they. What do they say? They say we should drink, what, like 8 glasses of water a day? Like, I know my bladder after 3 kids is not at its peak performance, but 8 glasses of water a day, I've been peeing all the time. Or they say that we should get 7 hours of consecutive sleep a night. Please raise your hand if you have, except for you 2. Well, maybe, I don't know if you got kids or not, but raise your hand if you've had 7 hours of consecutive sleep. Okay, we got one. That's good. That's good. But I don't know. It hasn't happened for me for a very long time with the 3 young kids, and I'm sure when they're teenagers, it's not going to be any better. They say we should hide our gray. We should get rid of cellulite. Is that even possible? It's cute on babies. It's our God-given right to have it as well. They say so many things. No wrinkles, whiten our teeth. Jesse Roston is a producer from LA, and he gave me permission to use this video I'm going to show you in just a sec. It's only 2 minutes long, and it's a fabulous example of how the power of they, he's using humor to exaggerate it, how the power of they has a big impact on how we see ourselves physically, and how we absorb the opinions of they and have help to define our own opinions of ourselves. So I'm going to show this video right now. Very cool.
Introducing the next revolution in beauty. Get ready to experience a whole new you.
It's you, perfected.
Say goodbye to fine lines and wrinkles and hello to full lips, sparkling eyes, and lashes that never end. And that's just the beginning. Transform your look the way celebrities do with this beauty industry secret that's now available for the first time ever. Introducing Photoshop by Adobe. Finally look the way you've always dreamed. The difference is clear. Just one application of Photoshop can give you results so dramatic, they're almost unrealistic. Use Healing Brush to target blemishes at their source by simply erasing them. ProPixel Intensifying Botanical Hydrojargon Microbead Extract infused with nutritive volumizing technology will leave your face virtually unrecognizable.
My skin feels like plastic.
Take control of your color with Hue Saturation. Use this breakthrough formula to change hair or skin color, brighten eyes, whiten teeth, even adjust your race. Tired of fighting with your shape? Wish you could be a total knockout? Dial in the perfect you with Liquify. Reshape your body without the expense and mess of surgery. Why eat healthy and exercise when you can just look like you do? And the best part is,
It won't rub off.
the results don't lie. Pictures like this are all Photoshop. The celebrity beauty secret used in virtually every major magazine is now available to you. You don't have to rely on a healthy body image or self-respect anymore.
Now that's the power of Photoshop.
There's only one way to look like a real cover girl. Photoshop by Adobe.
Maybe she's born with it.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Photoshop.
Jesse Ross, and thank you to him for putting such a fabulous package together. That is the power of they, and to disempower they, we simply need to question it. Is what they are saying around us what we think? Is it our truth? Do we want to allow that to be part of our definition of self? Another example, I have to show this one because it pisses me off. Look at this, before and after baby shot. What are we teaching our young girls? What are we teaching our young boys about what it means to have a baby? And if I was that woman, I would be angry that they allow this to go to print. So as women, we need to speak up for this more and more. They even, it looks like they even made the baby's legs thinner. I don't know, kind of freaky. I believe we need to be mentors for our young girls and boys to show them that positive self-worth is so much more than what they're seeing on the newsstands. The power of they can be co-workers, friends, family, partners, competitors, industry, members. There's so many people that can be included in that. Starbucks, baristas, anyone whose opinion you actually value and absorb as your own. So to question it, that's how we disempower they. For each strategy, I'm going to be offering you a power statement. The power statement is something I personally use all the time. When you're in the chaos, it offers clarity. It's something you can go back to, and if you're having a similar situation, you can think of this. So for disempowering they, the first strategy to truly flourishing, here's your power statement. If it feels wrong, it is without question wrong. If it feels wrong, it is wrong, and that's how we get through all the muck of the power of they. Quick story, when I was 17, I moved away from my home. I was graduated, I moved to another town to live with my brother in a fourplex. So 2 apartments up, 2 apartments down below. Top right we lived, bottom left was the property manager who took care of several properties. But I'm talking creepy. My creepometer went off the charts. I was 17, but he would walk around with cut-off shorts to here, no shirt, hairy chest. I swear there was baby oil all over it, right? Gold chains, probably late 50s, I was 17, so maybe he wasn't, I don't know. And he'd be mowing the lawn, looking at me like this, hey, hey. And I was creeped out, and I would say to everyone, everyone, he freaks me out. And what did they say? Oh, Pumpkin, what are you so scared about? What do you think he's gonna do? And after a while, and I'm sure you can relate, when people tell you things again and again, you almost start to absorb it and believe it yourself. I was like, yeah, I'm just young, I don't know. Well, one night I came home, it was dark, it was probably around midnight. I was walking up to my top right apartment, my brother wasn't home, and as I walked up the stairs, I could feel someone watching me. You know, you're like tingly feeling, you know. And for whatever reason, I looked down to the bottom left apartment, and there he was. In his apartment, it was dark, and he was staring at me. And I'll never forget, from the soft light coming in from the street light, I'll never forget the look on his face. And it freaked me out so bad that my intuition, my whatever you want to call it, my wisdom just screamed at me, get out, get out, get out. I went inside, I grabbed a pillow, I wasn't even thinking, I got in my car, and I drove to my aunt's house, which was unusual. It wasn't something normally I would do. The next day, what did they say? Oh, Pumpkin, what's wrong? Really? Are you serious? Not long after that, the property manager broke into another woman's apartment, raped and stabbed her to death. So did he have ill intent to me that night? I mean, I'll never know, right? I'll never know. But I can tell you that something was screaming for me to get out. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. Even when it's not screaming, your intuition might whisper. And I'm going to be offering strategies to connect with that in just a moment. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. It's a powerful power statement that I use personally all the time. The second strategy is to get intimate with your thoughts. Strategy to truly flourish and reach your goals at the same time. Anyone here reading Shades of Grey? No one's reading Shades of Grey, anybody? No? Okay. Well, beyond that kind of getting intimate with your thoughts, I'm speaking more of getting intimate with your daily thinking, not just the Shades of Grey kind of thing. It's all about connecting with your passion, your purpose, and in the end, your highest potential. Busyitis, it can completely block that creative force in all aspects of our lives, not only as mothers, but also as professionals. It's connecting to passion, purpose, and highest potential. Consider you're a star employee. Some of you may be in business, maybe you have an employee or thinking of getting one, or maybe you have several. We own 2 businesses and we have about 45 employees. So I know this from personal experience. Consider your star employee. You hire this person who is 100% on board with what you're going on. They're so passionate about what you do, you're like, this is my clone, this is awesome. They get you, they get it, they get your vision, and they're working hard. They're working like 10, 12 hours a day, sometimes 6 or 7 days a week. What's going to happen to that employee a month or 2 months, 3 months down the road? Total burnout, right? Your star employee will no longer be connected to their passion, purpose, or highest potential. What is the greatest asset in your own business? Yourself. As a business strategy, you simply cannot allow yourself to get burnt out. And to do that, we need to incorporate into our business strategies, our personal and professional plans, mindful moments. It can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes or an hour, whatever. Hey, I get it. 3 kids, 2 businesses. I get that there's no time. You wake up knowing what you got to do, you're doing it to the moment you go to bed. But we need to sneak in for success personally and professionally these mindful moments. So here's some examples. Arrive early. Get to a meeting 5 minutes early. Turn off the music. This only works without kids, by the way. And take in 4 or 5 deep breaths. It will renew you. Or go and do something out of the ordinary, maybe on your lunch break, if you get one. Go do something a little bit different. You know, take that 20 minutes. At night, go for a walk in a different neighborhood. It's amazing how many people do not close their blinds. It's like free entertainment, right? Do something out of the ordinary. These moments will renew you. They'll connect you with your passion and your purpose, and of course, your highest potential in all aspects of your lives. Here's your power statement. Focus on what you're for more than what you're against. If you're taking your mindful moments and you're sitting down, you're like, I'm going to take some time for myself. I got 5 or 10 minutes, have a latte, whatever. If you're using that time to think about the cupcakes you need to make for your kid's birthday party, or what are you going to wear to this event, or what did I do wrong with that client, what can I do better, that is an inappropriate use of your mindful moment. You need to focus on what you're for more than what you're against. You feel yourself going down that path, otherwise, Get yourself back on track. Focus on what you're for more than what you're against. If you use this one power statement in your life, I promise you it can transform so many elements. It's truly a statement that can cover all aspects of your lives. The third strategy to truly flourishing is to redefine and redirect your energies and your focus. Before I had kids, a week before I had my first daughter, I remember saying to all the staff, okay, I'm gonna give birth, I'm gonna have the baby, and I'll be back in a week. And the baby's gonna sleep in a playpen in the office, and it's gonna be awesome. So excited. Is that how it happened? No! She was colic. She's 7, she's still colic. Tell me there's an end, I don't know. But I didn't end up going back for like a year and a bit, because that wasn't my reality. But I lived in some serious frustration for quite a while, because my goals, I'm very driven, I'm sure many of you are, I'm very driven, and I had these goals and aspirations before I had kids, and I was not allowing the process of the change in myself to happen in all aspects of my lives. So I was living in frustration because I simply could not meet those standards with my new situation. Our personal and professional plans must reflect changes in who we are and our life circumstances. Consider yourself 5 years ago. Were you not a different person 5 years ago? And I see this all the time in my coaching work. As women, we become so devoted and loyal to our visions and our ideas that they can sometimes basically entangle us and hold us back. It's not failing to re-strategize. It actually takes courage to say, this is what's going on in my life today, here's my priorities, how can I refocus, redirect, and redefine my energies? And that way we'll be living a much more flourishing life instead of a frustrating life. And I wish that someone had told me this power statement at my first baby shower. I wish someone had said to me, Trisha, there is a time and a place for everything. Doesn't that take a weight off your shoulders? There is a time and a place for everything. So when you feel yourself overwhelmed and there's so many opportunities you want to take hold of, think of your priorities and focus on the power statement. And the final strategy to flourishing, reaching your goals and flourishing at the same time. And by the way, I have some information on an event coming up in March here in Vancouver. All right, pretty sure it's going to be in Burnaby. I'll be offering all 10 of these strategies in a 3-hour workshop. It's very interactive. It also includes the 5 foundations for having a great self-worth, foundation of self-worth. So there's information on these as well. And if you want, you can submit your name as an email, and I'll include you in my e-newsletter. I'll be sending out more promo codes and information on that as well. And that's just a sign-up form up there. So the final strategy for today is your faith in your hands. And for me, this is one of the most important ones, because we do have overwhelming and weary days. Everything you is possible. Your faith, your soul deep awareness of what it is that you want in your life and who you are, it has to come from a place of faith in yourself and a belief that everything new is possible. No amounts of accolades, money, promotions, support, nothing from the outside world can replace that faith in yourself. Sometimes for me it comes down to this: blind, bold belief. And I think to myself, on the days that I wonder if I'm doing the right thing, but I know it is my truth. I know this is the path I should be going down because I feel it with my own wisdom and that destiny is unfolding, but I'm unsure, as we all are. I think to myself, blind, bold belief. That faith in yourself has to come from your own internal belief system. And your final power statement: I manifest my own radiating life experience. When you own this statement, that is when you are actually solidly working towards living an authentic life. Because it takes nothing from the outside. No one can do it for you. Not your kids, not your partner, not your work environment, nor success. I manifest my own radiating life experience. And I truly believe that it all comes down to this. We are here simply to shine, baby, shine. That's what we're here for, to fully express ourselves. So those are the 4 strategies to truly flourishing. This has been a fun atmosphere to talk. Thank you for joining me on the main stage, audience. And to everyone in your booths, thank you. Have fun, be fabulous, truly flourish. I'll be back March 3rd to give all 10 examples. Thank you.